Hello there. Welcome to this problem solving session for grade 2 math and logical reasoning for competitions. In this video, I'll show you how to solve problems where there are few animals, people, or objects moving between two places, and we have to find out how many were there at each step. So, without much ado, let's jump straight into a problem and see how this can be solved. So, there were three crows on two trees. At first, six crows flew from tree 1 to tree 2. Then, four crows flew from tree 2 to tree 1. After that, there were six crows on each tree. How many crows were there on tree 2 to begin with? So, in this problem, we have to go backward and do some calculations to find out what was there before these crows moved from one tree to another. So just to simplify that, let's take an example, a different example of family with a few members. So let's say there are four family members, and this is just to explain a process of how to solve these kind of problems, because this problem is a little bit more complex, and to simplify that, the process of solving this problem, I'm taking the example of a family. So let's say there is a family of four people, and two guests come in and join them. So let's say there are, I'll say plus, so plus two guests who join them. So there are now six people in the house, four family members and two guests. So if I ask you how many people were there before the guests came in, so we'll see six people who are already there minus two guests, and then we'll find four people who were originally there. So if we are trying to find a number before something happened, before an addition happened, then we do a subtraction. So basically, it's the opposite of addition, because we already have six people now, and we want to subtract the two new people that we got to go to that four number that we had. Like, the if someone asks how many people were there before these guests came, so we'll say four, because it's six minus two guests, six minus two, which is four. Now, there's another example where there are four people in this family, in the same family. And let's say there are two people out of this who went for shopping. So, how many people? So, we'll say there are two people who went for shopping. So, how many are there in the home? There are two, right? Now, if someone says, how many were there before these two people went to shopping? So we'll add these two people who are already present plus two who left. Although they left, we are still adding them because we want to find what happened previously. So two people who are there plus two people who left. So that gives us four that were present before they left. So when we are finding something before, people who left or things that left, that will be added, and things that came in, that will be subtracted. So once we understand this idea, let's now jump straight into our problem. So at first, six crows flew from tree 1 to tree 2. Then crows flew from tree 2 to tree 1. After that, there were six crows on each tree. How many crows were there on tree 2 to begin with? So on tree 2, what is happening? So just before we had six crows. So just before we had six crows on tree 2, four crows flew from tree 2 to tree 1. So four crows left tree 2. So since they left, we have to add them back. So we have to add plus 4 because those crows left. And before the four crows left, we had 10 crows in tree 2. And what happened before that? So we had 10 crows before those four crows left. and then we'll have to see how many crows came in. So six crows flew in from tree 1 to tree 2 before that. So we have to subtract because they came in. So we have to subtract because remember we subtracted the number of guests to find the original number of um, family members. So we are subtracting here. We are subtracting those six new crows that came in, and that will give us four. So this is a two-step process. So first we add back the four who left, and then we subtract the six who came in. So by doing that, we get four. So our answer is originally there were four crows in tree 2. So that's our answer. We'll apply a similar method in the next problems, but I'd say like just pause this video and try these new problems that I introduce here so that you get a better understanding of how to solve this problem. Try this, apply the same logic to your new problem, and uh, try to solve it by yourself and see if you can solve it. So here's the new problem. You can pause the video right here and check out the problem and see if you can solve it using the method that I just explained. And then you can come back and see the solution that I present for this. So see you in a while. Hi there. Hope you got a chance to look at this problem yourself and was able to solve the problem. In this part, I'll explain how to solve the problem and get to the right answer. So there are two playgrounds close to each other, and some students were playing soccer and in one, and some were playing hockey in another. After a while, half of the students in the hockey ground left to play soccer. Then, as soccer players went up, half the students from the soccer ground went to play hockey. After that, there were five students in the hockey ground and three in the soccer ground. How many students were there in the hockey ground to begin with? So as we discussed in the previous part, we'll start with the last situation or the end situation where we had five students who were in the hockey ground. So five in the hockey, and we have three in the soccer. So three in the soccer. So now let's see how we can get back or how we can get the number of students who were there previously. So what happened just before we have five hockey and three soccer players? What happened just before this? So it says then as soccer players went up, half the students of the soccer ground went to play hockey. So this is what is happening. Half the students from soccer ground went to hockey. So we have three soccer players. So we know that we have to add back anyone who has left. So we know that after half of them left, we are left with three. So this is another trick that if half of them left and we only have three, so that means we have a total of um, so half of them left and we are left with three. So we had three plus three, so we had six. So we have to just double this number. So we have to add three back because we know that after three of them left, after half of them left, have three. So we have the half, we have the other half. So that means three of them left, right? So that's why we have another three left, three in the ground. So 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. So this was just before half of the soccer players left. So we had 3 in the soccer. So we now have 6 in the soccer, and 5 were in the hockey. So we just subtract the hockey players. So 2 were in the hockey ground because whoever came, we have to subtract them to find the previous number. So 6 and 2 were just before this happened. And what is the question? So the question asks how many students were there in the hockey ground to begin with? So how many were there in the hockey ground to begin with? So we know that there were two people in the hockey ground before this step. So now we have to do another step. So there were two playgrounds, and after a while, half the students in the hockey ground left to play soccer. So we know that two of them were present, but after half the students left, we have two in the hockey. So that means originally there were again the same thing. Like we have half of them present, which is two. So we have to add back whoever left, and that was also two because like two plus two, half of two plus two is two. So half of any number, if you add to itself and make it half, then becomes the same number. So we know that four people were there, and that's why when we have half, so the two will be left. So four were there in the hockey, and that's our answer. So what have we done? Then in the first step, we add back. Like in the soccer, we add back three plus three is equal to six, and then 5 minus 3 because these three people came to the hockey field, so we subtract that to get like the original number before this step in the hockey. And then to go one step back, we again add back whoever left the hockey field, so we get 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So we mark our answer as 4. So that's how we solve this kind of problems. We just add back whoever left, and whoever is coming in, we subtract them to get to the previous number. So now I'll move to the other problem, and I'll show you how this works so that you can see the problem, and I'll explain in the next part how to solve this problem. So I'll see you in the next video. I'll create a separate video on solving this problem, but you can try it, and you can match your solution with the one that I'll explain in the next video. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video.